Hello, YouTube. It's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking 90 Day to Last Resort Season 2, Episode 3, Save the Last Dance. And this is the episode I've been waiting for since the trailer broke for this season of The Last Resort. Okay. Oh my God. I tell you what, Goofy Natalie, Crazy Jasmine. I'll get to them in a minute. So this episode starts off with like all the couples like at a breakfast. Four people were sit at three different tables, and everything. And it's just nice little morning little breakfast and everything. And Benny, it starts off with like Benny showing Florian some of his stunts and everything. So Benny gets up and starts doing the backflip and everything, and everybody's clapping for him. Yeah, Benny, 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 and everything. Ari is getting mad because he's not talking to Ari. Ari's claiming that Benny is just the center of attention all the time and everything. Excuse me, sorry about that. But yeah, Ari's thinking that he's the center of attention all the time. So like Benny, like Julia gets happy and sees that, and she wants to like go and do some flips and stuff with him. So like Benny picks her up and like flips her over. Then Benny picked up Gino and flips him over and everything. And that just like sparked up Julia, pumped up Julia so much. Everybody, let's go club. Let's go club. Let's go to the club tonight. Party club. We're going to the club tonight. Want to go to the club and everything. Julia's just like, just got out. I don't know what like she drank or whatever. She was just like, let's just go to the club and everything. So she came up with the idea to go to the club. Everybody agreed. So back at the breakfast, Sophie was telling Ari and Brandon and Julia about like the whole like Natalie situation. So last week's episode, Natalie told Rob that I think you love Sophie more than she loves you. Apparently, like Natalie and Sophie have like a small little beef going on. Natalie does not really like Sophie and everything. And Sophie was just like, and then I guess this was unseen. Natalie was flirting with Rob or just commenting on his tattoos. You have nice tattoos or whatever, and it's kind of pissing Sophie off and everything. So like, Sophie still like wants to call out about Josh DMing her before like inviting her to Vegas, which we'll address later in the video and stuff and everything. But Sophie asked Julia, like, who's the person who don't like me? And Julia said it's Natalie, basically, and everything. And I can see that Natalie's been talking a lot of crap and everything. So let's fast forward to the club. We've seen everybody get ready. We've seen Rob and Sophie get ready and everything. And Rob and Sophie said, regardless of what we're going through, we will always have each other's back and stuff, basically. So they get to the club and everything. Julia just starts like, the minute she walked in, she was like, two moscatos or whatever they're called and everything, and just starts like yelling, partying up. She's a go-go dancer, so it was her element. And so Julia and Benny and Jasmine like all started dancing with each other and everything. Benny, just having a good time. Julia's just having a good time and everything. And Julia asked Jasmine, will you can I dance with your husband? And Jasmine said, yeah, you can and everything. So she tried to get Gina to dance and everything. He's like, I want to drink first, basically, and stuff and everything. So, so they're all dancing, everybody's dancing, having a good time. Benny's just doing his thing. And then Ari once again just starts getting really upset about it. Like, because he really is avoiding her and everything. And so like she feels like he's talking to everybody and not talking to her. And I kind of see Ari's point when it comes to that. Like, it's that's kind of sad. So Ari gets up and goes and walks to the bathroom, and she locks herself in the bathroom like a little kid, like a little teenage girl, and she was in there for like an hour and stuff and everything. And Jasmine and Benny and the producers tried to go check on Ari, like after a while, and like they were trying to figure out where she at and everything. She was not answering, and the producer even had to ask Ari, just please say something, just to let us know you're okay. We'll leave you alone. Basically, she wouldn't say anything. So, like they just gave up. Now we get into Julia and Brandon. Julia is like drunk out of her mind. She starts getting up on the table and just starts dancing like I don't know. And she had this really skimpy outfit on and everything, which irritated Brandon because because she went to the on the ride to the club and she had a robe on, and Brandon said it is something skimpy, and he just was not feeling it whatsoever. So Julia at the club, she gets up on the bar and starts dancing and everything, and dancing like crazy and stuff. And Brandon's like, Julia, come on, that's enough. That's too much. Please get down, Julia. That's enough. I'm not kidding with you. And he was like, you can even see your front's coming out a little bit. Like, get down, get down. So he gets her down, and then they have a conversation. Like Brandon said, that's not the way that I want the future mother of my child to be. And Julia's just like, well, you don't like to have fun. You don't like to have fun. I'm having a fun time. I'm not getting naked or nothing. I'm having a fun time and everything. And it's unfair for you to say that and everything. I'm not ready to be a mom anyway. And everything. And Bertie's like, I wish I didn't come here to this bar. And she was just like, to the retreat or the bar? And he said bar. And she was like, you do. He was like, I don't have to, I can have fun without showing my male parts and everything. And she was like, well, that's you. You do you and I'll do me. Bye. I was like, okay. Okay, Julia, okay. So now, after that, then we get into the meat and potatoes of this episode. Jasmine stirred the pot in this episode. Now, you don't want to stir the pot and then turn it around and play victim. Well, not play victim, but just, you don't want to stir the pot with Natalie, because Natalie will make a mountain out of a mole, basically. So, Sophie decided, and Rob was there. Rob didn't really say much about it. Like he just let her do her thing with that. Sophie decides to go talk to Josh. And prior to that, Josh and Natalie had a good conversation. Josh has to leave the resort because he has to go take care of some family issues. Remember, I said a couple weeks ago, his son was in an accident and he has to go, like, basically home to check on him and stuff and everything. And Natalie, she's like, she understands that, but why tell me now? Like, why did you wait till we're at a bar with all these people just to tell me that you're leaving tomorrow? I don't like Natalie, but I do agree with that. Like, why did he do that? Like, this is why I don't think Josh is taking it seriously. So, Natalie is already like her nerves are already up. So we seen Sophie talk to Josh, and Sophie is just talking to Josh, just how's it going, what y'all up to, and all that and everything. And he's saying how tough it is and all that. That was all innocent. Jasmine sees them talking. Jasmine is standing next to Natalie and he sees her talking. And Jasmine was like, I think he likes Sophie. And I was like, oh my God, who, Sophie? And Josh likes Sophie? He was inviting her to Vegas, basically. And we were like, he's never invited me to Vegas and everything. This is that. We're talking about those text messages, those DMs when Josh was DMing Sophie. So, like, that starts a whole debate. So everybody comes together. Sophie and Natalie come together, and Sophie's like, I'm not going to be phased by you. I'm 20 years younger than you. So Natalie and Sophie started arguing. Natalie calls Sophie a hooker. She's like, "Well, you're half naked and everything, and you're just like a hooker. You're a hooker. Why are you going with my man? Why are you going to Vegas with my man?" And we're like, "We didn't go to Vegas, and I didn't do nothing. Check your man. He DM'd me and stuff and everything. Like, we didn't go to Vegas. He asked me have I been to Vegas, and we had mutual friends." And Natalie, goofy Natalie was just freaking insulting Sophie. Now I'm not a fan of Sophie, but Sophie did not deserve that. Like, and she's right. She is 20 years younger. You don't do that. Like, you don't do that. Like, calling her a hooker and like say you're half naked, calling her a whore and stuff and everything. Who does goofy Natalie think she is? And I'm glad, and I'm gonna get to this later, but I'm glad Jasmine like finally like was ready to step up to her, even though she kind of started it. So like they started arguing and everything, and they like Natalie just goes up and starts crying and everything. And I'll give Sophie credit with this. She's like, I'm 20 years younger than you. I'm gonna handle this. Like, you don't phase me one bit. I'm trying to be calm. Like, any other girl would have popped Natalie in her head for saying that. To be honest with you, and I wish somebody did. No offense, I don't like violence. I'm against fighting, any kind of physical activity. But when you open up your mouth like that and say things like that, that mouth better come with some hands. Just saying. And so Natalie, but yeah, I credit Sophie a lot for just handling that maturely with class and tried to handle that, while Natalie was like, "You're a whore. You're 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 a hooker and everything." But whatever. So Natalie goes out and starts crying, and then we finally get a hold of Ari. Ari said after everybody quit banging on her bathroom door and left, she snuck out and went out the back door or something outside just to get some air. And she was seen talking to Josh about it. And then Benny came and everything. And they had a conversation. And Benny is still wanting Ari to get to give him his passwords back to his social media and stuff and everything. Ari actually agreed to do that. Like, look, if that would make you happy, but if I do this, that means you're gonna try here in this therapy and everything, and you're gonna show me some respect. He's like, yeah. So he's like, let's get back in. Everybody giving in. But I do see Ari's point though, because I do think like Benny is more worried about the social media thing than finishing than trying to work on their marriage. So I do see Ari on that one. So now Natalie and Josh have a conversation. And she's like, "How are you gonna invite another girl to Vegas?" Blah, 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 and just being typical Natalie, just like talking fast and saying mean things and everything. And Josh was like, "I'm not," and Natalie was like demanding, "Invite me to Vegas right now." And Josh was like, "No, I'm not going anywhere with you. You need to calm down. You're calling people names, calling other women names, like you're acting crazy. You need to calm down, basically, and everything." So she said, "F off." So Natalie goes back in, and she flips like she goes back up to Sophie. Rob is giving Sophie a drink, and Sophie's getting a drink. Natalie goes up to Sophie and just smacks the drink out of her hand, and the glass falls on the ground and shatters. And we just like, what the heck? Now, like I said, I give Sophie so much credit. Like, she was called a hooker, a whore, and Natalie came in, like, just took her drink and just smashed it on the ground and stuff like that. How any other person, any other person would have popped out on her. How did she not get popped? But Jasmine, Sophie just laughed it off and everything, and like Josh and Rob had a conversation. He's like, Rob, like we did DM, and Rob's like, I seen the conversations, like they weren't out of line, but I was seeing what you were trying to do and everything. But Rob wasn't phased about it. So yeah, Jasmine decides, and she gives Natalie a look like, what the heck? So Jasmine was like, goes outside, gives Natalie her purse, and she was like, Natalie, you are not the victim. Like I've been nothing but a friend to you and everything. And you're disrespecting women. You're with a guy who don't give a rat's ass about you and everything. Stop disrespecting women and everything. You want to meet? You threw a glass on my feet, and you're gonna apologize right now. You want to meet with crazy? I'm crazy and everything. So I am glad that Jasmine, like, and then like Florian and Julia were holding her back and everything. But I really wish Jasmine would have popped her for that, you know, and everything. I do appreciate Jasmine like having Sophie's back in that moment. But because yeah, like I'm sorry. I don't, like I said, I'm not a violent person. I don't like anything ever becoming physical. That's literally the last resort. But not for goofy Natalie, who thinks she's all entitled to call people whores and hookers and lie on them and everything, and then like through a glass like that. Who in the hell does she think she is? She needs to come to some rough parts of the country. Like she's been safe there out in LA and Florida or whatever and stuff. She has not been anywhere else in here in the States. Go to Chicago acting like that. Go to Detroit acting like that. Come to my private city and acting like that and say things like that. Yeah, you're going to regret that. Just saying. Just saying. Go to the Bronx and act like that. This is why I didn't want to do like this. Like, Natalie is the full reason why I'm not doing every single episode this season at The Last Resort, because of crap like that. Now, judging by the previews, everybody's demanding her to go apologize to the group. And we've seen her in a confessional saying, I could apologize, but I really don't give a F. Okay, fine. You don't have to apologize, but we damn sure don't give a F about you. And I just hope you should just go with Josh and then don't come back. Like I just like like and things like that. That's just that, like, Sophie called it right. It is that mean girl mentality. Like she also made a comment about her butt and stuff and everything. Like that is typical. And Natalie's nearly like 40 years old and stuff. Like there is, I just don't know who she thinks she is. Like we already have enough entitlement here in America and stuff, and we definitely don't need somebody like Natalie, who's a foreigner here to be acting like that. Usually I'm always, for the most part, on the foreigner sides, like when it comes to things, because they're homesick, and like we do things completely different than what they do in their country and stuff and everything, and we're just like demanding our being entitled to them. But Natalie, I'm sorry guys, this just makes me sick, just seeing that, and her voice, and just calling people names like that. Like, some people are just like really lucky, like that she just didn't get popped, because if she said that to the wrong people, and like and being at the wrong place at the wrong time, she would have got popped. Just saying. Just saying. That really irritated me. But yeah, I credit Jasmine. Now the question is, like, who started it? Jasmine kind of egged it. Well, I wouldn't say egged it on, kind of started it, because I think that she shouldn't have told Natalie about Sophie, about Josh texting Sophie and stuff. I think Sophie should have been the one who did it, or Josh, the one doing it. So, but Jasmine did say that she, like, it's not Sophie's fault and everything. It's Josh's fault, basically. So, but, Natalie doesn't want to hear that, because she's so insecure and stuff. But we'll see how there's an apology, a genuine apology next week. But anyway, guys, yeah, this is the episode I've been waiting for the cover ever since the trailer broke, and it did not disappoint. So I don't know when the next time I'm gonna do the last resort again, but only on the good ones and stuff. So, but anyway, guys, that is the end of my review. I'll be back on tomorrow or Wednesday to recap Married at First Sight. So thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see y'all again soon. Bye, y'all.